So the rules that we agreed on would be to try out the new World Championship rules. At least, hopefully, that the World Championship can happen this year. And the rules are such that we're playing a best of 5, and we have a massive, massive long time control of like 22.5 minutes per game. And this is actually has been adopted to be the time control for. Yeah, thank you, Marco. And yeah, so I got a little bit distracted and made a mistake. I think probably. No, actually, the move is fine, but maybe a better takeover was over here of this field. I mean, you have to drop a field meeple here, and of course, Elias has to take this city, and I have to go over here. Yeah, but anyway, so the rules. We're going to try these increased time controls that we're going to see in the World Team Online Carcassonne Championship this year, and the reason why they're adopting those, we have to go here, right? We have to. It's just the biggest thing, and of course, Elias will have to grab this 9-point field. Yeah, so we're trying this. The reason why they're adopting this long time control is because of increasing evidence of cheating in international tournaments. For example, many players have, more than you might think actually, have scripts or at least tile counters that help you keeping track of all the tiles, and it just makes not much easier, but it just simply makes the game much faster. And as a result of that, honest players can very often get into time trouble, and so they're attempting to mitigate that effect by introducing this long time control. And also, well, I will be able to explain all my moves. So here's what happened here. So when I placed this monastery over here, I knew that I was leaving a 4-point road, which is not ideal, but had red chosen to grab this 4-point road, then what? Then what? Oh yeah, then at least red would have connected the field and then expanded my field a little bit, and would not have the opportunity to take the field himself. And now actually I think this move was a bit misplaced. I think red had to take the field, because now I will have this nice 9-point field, potentially 12-point field, and at least 5 more squares to build it with 2 meeples, and it will be quite hard for red to fight against this. Yeah, that's one way to do it actually. No, I think we should grab the road now, expand our field as well. Oh, I see quite a lot of viewers already. I did not expect this, to be honest, because I announced the stream only 2 hours ago. Because again, as I've said, I wasn't exactly sure that we would go ahead, but we did. I'm wondering what Elias is thinking about. It's actually not an easy move. By the way, this is why it's super important that we manage to take this road, because basically in Carcassonne you want to do everything before your opponent does in the opening. For example, I have actually 2 decent options now. I could start controlling my opponent's city here, and I kind of like it. But I think I'm just going to go for raw points. 5 points, and then I'm going to get 1 spare point over here or something. Again, Elias has a choice going here or over here with his. Yeah, I think this is the better move, because it forces a defense. Well, I'm not sure if it forces a defense, but I have to go here. It is the correct move. We already have only 6 curves. I'm gonna use one of them. That's a great tile for us because it allows us to add 1 point to ourselves and then start a slight attack over here. Not an attack, actually. I don't call this an attack. I call this harassment. So I'm just harassing this meeple a little bit because I'm only placing this curve over here to set up an attack. Alternatives could be this, but I think we first gotta put this where it actually belongs. Now my opponent is starting to get some decent tiles actually, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do about it. Yeah, there's not much that we can do about it actually. Well, maybe we need something over here perhaps. But then if our opponent finishes this city, then we get to block here. On the other hand, he could finish the city first. So at least what should happen is that we engage with one of red cities over here, and the other one will probably remain unpunished because there's just not much that we can do. Now, our options are, so this move is, this move's not bad actually. I mean, no, it's a bit too risky, but the idea is we want to achieve several objectives. We want to expand our field, we want to harass this city, and we want to add a point to our monastery. So this move would accomplish all these objectives except the one for expanding our field. But it has the advantage that it sets up a longer road over here. No, but I'ma just go and play Caveman Carcassonne. Well, I'd expect Elias to go over here. I can't really see anything possibly better. And then we'll have to think real hard. Hi, David. Hi, Kerry. By the way, if you're wondering why I have a weird voice, it's only because I have COVID. Yeah. But I'm doing fine. It just changed my voice a little bit. We're also gaining a bit of a time advantage. 1.5 minutes. I'm extremely happy to see this move, because this means that we could still get this guy blocked. I mean, this wasn't a bad move at all, because it makes life slightly more difficult for me. And ideally I should do something like this and start another city, but we can't really afford to stay without meeples, so I'm just gonna complete this city, and then hope to connect this road like this. I mean, really, this road doesn't matter that much. Like, the main... Yeah, oh, that's hard. The main way in which this road matters is that I just want to get my meeple back, and that's it. It looks like my field control is here to stay, really. Well, I mean, red could challenge it from here and from here. Yeah, this is a bit menacing, especially given that there are 8 of these guys. Now, we don't want to place it over here, because then it will allow red to finish this city sort of unpunished. I think I just want to proceed like normal, and even though this is not the best move in the sense that I'm starting this new city somewhere not on my field, I think I still have to do it just because the location is too good and it solves my problems over here. And well, red can't really go here, right? Because it's just too risky for red that I can engage his city. But I am close to being in trouble, I think. If he gets one of the many triangles. I'm not exactly sure how to handle this. Yeah, so probably what we could have done is maybe place this move over here. But I was really willing to give up the city just because there's so many triangles and I don't want to spread myself too thin. Because the idea is at least I use this move to consolidate. And now Elias is actually thinking of starting to break this meeple, I'm pretty sure. This is not a bad move, but I will be more happy to see it rather than unhappy. Just because it's adding points to me. Uh-huh. Well, that's interesting. I think that's extremely greedy. And, well, I mean, everything can happen, right? But now at least we make sure that I think one of these two cities will get blocked. And in some scenarios, two of these cities. So we have to attack here. It just increases our probabilities way too much. And in fact, now there are a couple of sequences of tiles that work well, but we have to go here. I mean, we could go here. No, but I mean, we have to take tiles away from our opponents. It's not a question. And we might even consider going here and finishing our opponent's city. I mean, this is maybe not the worst idea, but my ideal scenario, what I would absolutely love to do. By the way, one of the reasons why I didn't put this over here just yet is because there's still many curves left, there's still many crossroads left, so this road is secure enough, but I want to leave room for the freeing up of this meeple, because I can do it with this tile right now, and there were... Nice move. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah. Limiting my field. Well, we have to go here. We could go here, but I don't think that's the best idea. This is a bit of a wishful thinking, because there's still going to be two of those left. I don't really want to spend good tiles on my opponent's features. Really, the ideal scenario now is for us to get a regular triangle, and there are still 5 of those left. Put it over here, free up our meeple, and then somehow block this vulnerable spot over here. And frankly, I'm a bit surprised that red went for this risky endeavor, because all red really had to do is wait for one of the many triangles himself. But we'll see where this leads us. Oh, we have also quite a few viewers over here. Oh, I see. We have many Mexican viewers, so I hope you don't give hints to Elias. Yeah, okay, we just have to grab points over here. Nothing really to look for. I mean, this move is fine, but I'm not sure about this meeple because it's... Well, it's going to be vulnerable over here, and it's going to be tied down to my monastery. I mean, I guess it's not bad, but... But also red is not getting the easiest tiles to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's still 4 straight lines left, and one of them we really need over here for a variety of reasons. Although ideally we want to get one of the 3 monasteries first. Of course, the probability is not exactly on our side. And if we get one of the monasteries in the road, probably this will still be the better spot, because if we put it over, well, it's gonna be. Yeah, this is one of the reasons, I guess, why red blocked it, because red wanted to eliminate a coin flip. But now, of course, we get to get this meeple back from the massive road, and now we're going to start working towards our other objective. Our field has already reached 12 points, and potentially 18 points if our opponent completes the cities, which is definitely a good investment for 2 meeples at 9 points per meeple. Overall, the game is quite equal, but I think we have a bit of an advantage due to the scoreboard, and we're close to. So if we manage to somehow block, guarantees that only one of these cities is completable, and in fact, it puts me at a fantastic probability, because my opponent has 3 tiles that fit him, and I have 5 tiles that fit me. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can turn this into a probability right now, but, well, I'm... Of course, Complex should go here, and now I start wondering whether it was appropriate to do this. To leave this unmeepled. But on the other hand, it looks quite a vulnerable space. It's still possible to re-attack this, so I'm not too concerned of my opponent being able to finish up a quick city. What am I concerned about? That's a good question. Now, what Red did is, Red did a great job blocking my field, and I have no way, absolutely no way of dropping this tile, dropping this divider on my field, which is where dividers belong. I can go over here, and then indirectly drop it here, and I actually kind of like this move. Or I can go over here, start a new city, and then threaten to attack Red's roads. But I think I'm gonna do this. Just trying to further expand the field. I'm not entirely convinced I made the best move, but, well... shot at success in this game, I think. And now that I will also need to decide whether I place this guy over here or over here, whether we start to sabotage this city. The reason why we would want to sabotage this city is that there's still many triangles left, and it's something that Red can complete very quickly. Also, the problem is, since we are ahead now, we want to avoid a situation in which we are flipping for the same tile with double impact. Here's what I mean. It's like this, you know. It seems, I just checked everything. It seemed that my connection were perfect, but as soon as the stream starts, it just doesn't quite work. Well, at least I hope you can see me well enough. Yeah, Anton, so I do... Well, I have videos with tactic and everything. I'm not sure how many of them are beginners. I think this is something that I haven't explored that much, and I would really like to do that. I do mention beginner concepts quite a lot in my full game video analyses, and those are usually quite comprehensive. So if you see any of my videos which are like 30 minutes long or more, then maybe try those out, because they're not systematic, but we usually look at the opening stages, and I typically like to still explain every move there. By the way, nice tile for Elias, and also I think well deployed, because he will now be able to complete this road. The downside for that is that now the potential of my field is completely unbridled. However, the impact is not severe at the moment, because with these blocking moves, red already managed to save, well, to deter me from dropping a divider on the field. I had to drop it over here indirectly, and now red is really in a not the easiest decision that he has to make. Maybe he could go... Actually, I think red has to attack my city and try to join. That's really what he has to do. And we might go over here to try and block something. But of course, we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go over here. By the way, interestingly, Elias has only 5 minutes left already. I mean, I assume he's explaining a lot, but still, it just shows that the time control is probably pretty good. And I had the impression that we had been playing Blitz in the World Championship, and now I think once the time control has changed, then we'll be able to do very serious, high-quality games. This is an interesting move, and it has upsides and downsides, and the upsides is that red can set up a block with tempo, so if he gets a tile like this, for example, he completes this and then puts a curve or a monastery next here, and then my meeple will be trapped. The downside is that there are still many triangles left, and I can just scoop up the city cap with any triangle. But of course, now what we have to do is we have to complete this attack over here. Not obvious what red should do here, and then not obvious at all how I should respond. This is a fascinating game. So many ways how this could turn out. Yeah, that's one of the possible ways how we could do this, and it's not obvious to me how I should respond. So of course we want to block this eventually, but I think prior to that, like, we don't want to do that because there's still some straight lines left, and straight lines can be, well, even though there's only 2, they can be used to place over here and secure this. There are still 2 tiles left for red, which is, well, not a lot. There's a 10% chance roughly on every move that he'll draw one of those tiles. There's still a tile with a triple city plus a road, but you know, it's not shouldn't be a big deal. Now we could go over, actually this one I quite like, because red will want to place something over here. On the other hand, I will want to expand our field. I could also go over here and then try to attack this city with tempo. This one actually also something that I quite like. I could place it over here and then score road points with tempo, with crossroads, and then attack this over here. But on the other hand, this is just like 5 points. This is 1 more point, yeah. And then it puts additional pressure to this. And well, that's it can't be a bad idea, can it? I'm probably still gonna go over here. Yeah, just because of this kind of stuff, you see. So we really want to be putting pressure with tempo. I'm not going to bother counting the points just yet, and yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm not going to bother counting the points just yet, just because it doesn't influence my moves that much. I think I'll still manage to largely keep control of my cities. I mean, of my field. Of course, this move would be fantastic for me because I get to score so much. But this also happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the last tile that would fit here. Yeah. I mean, not the last tile, like, at all. And also, it's not obvious to me if I should drop a field meeple. That's actually, it might be time. Might be time. I mean, there's still room to take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm a drop a field meeple, I think, because it's still quite likely that yeah, exactly. So I'm not even sure like where red should put this. I think maybe here is better, but I'm really not sure. Or here. That's a great situation that red needs this tile everywhere. Great situation for me. Yeah, and you see, so already I placed this meeple here preemptively because red could at some point, let's say if he places this tile over here, then something happens, and then he can end up with this 9-point field or even 12-point field, and then we're already prepared to deal with this. There are plenty of connection tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because the thing is, if you see that a field is important, that is going to develop into a big field, and if you have meeples, there is no need to waste a move later and put yourself in a position where it's harder to connect. Well, when you can just take the field right now. So that's my plan. Okay, actually we only have 7 minutes, so we should start counting points. We are at +4. Equal monasteries +5 here always, so it's +9. +5. So +7. Then here I have +3, so it's +10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's +6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, +21. I mean, it's a very, very difficult position for red. In order to hope to win this game, yeah, red must, well, do something weird like this. I'm gonna just keep taking points. Like, I can't think of anything better. Then in the next move, we're probably going to go here and then try to harass this guy a little bit. Yeah, this is not ideal for me. That's 3. Then, of course, I guess we want to take this field, make it a bit harder for red. And then also, well, there are some ways how these two fields can get connected. We also are attacking over here in this meeple because we don't want the reds to draw one of this. So this connection is more valuable than just adding 1 point to our monastery. So we're both lucky and unlucky in the sense that red gets his massive city, and we have another dilemma as well, right? So we could do this and secure this field so that reds cannot start an all-out attack on my big field, and actually this might be the correct move, but we'll sort it out, we'll figure it out. Another idea, we could start a 4-point road, but given the fact that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's only one curve, it might be not ideal, but the move I like the best is probably just this, right? Securing this field. I mean, it will be possible to connect to it later on, but it just makes it so much more inconvenient for red, so I'm gonna go here. Even though I'm potentially adding 1 point, it's kind of not ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but then I'm not completely sure about what I'm doing. I think we should even like recount the points a little bit. So, good move. Now the question is, should we go here or not? So this would block the red meeple completely, and that's a good thing. The downside is that it would create another platform for field connection, and this could very well happen. What we could do, we could go over here and secure this field. We could go over here, but this would create a couple of field connections. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I think just I might end up adding myself a point. I don't know. I'm kind of short on time, but maybe not that short on time. Okay, let me think again. So I'm at minus 12, but I'm at plus 5 here. I'm at plus 5 here and plus 2 here. So we're completely equal. But, so we're now completely equal. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 points for 2 meeples. So really, actually I'm probably going to be fine. If red just spends 2 meeples to get 9 points. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna do this. Again, I'm not sure if this is the best move or anything, but I do like the idea of like not letting my opponent to score much. And then yeah, I do create this connection, and that, but that's actually fine. So here's how my opponent could win. Let's say if he connects to this field with 2 meeples, then we're gonna be tied, right? But then my plan is that while he just spends time on connecting, I should be able to just score small points and win that way, maybe? So I hope that it doesn't cost me too dearly, this stuff. So okay, so now we should count tiles more. Yeah, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are still those. Okay, so we could limit red to 50%. On the other hand, I'm not even sure we want to do that. Yeah, I'm not even sure we want to do that. Because, well, red can connect the meeple here, but how on earth is he connecting a second one? And if we just do something like this, then we eliminate a second possibility for connection, and there's just no way. I mean, red can create something over here. Okay, by the way, we're now at plus 12 for 1 meeple. Now we're at plus 13 for 1 meeple. So I think I'm gonna do this. Oh, he scored 6. Now we are at plus 7. Just raw plus 7, yeah? I'm not going to say no to a meeple, although I could go this. I could go here. I could really go there, actually. That would be quite nice. 7, 7. That would give us 4 points, yeah? That would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there would be nothing that fit here. And that would be just at plain plus 7. But I just like this. I can't see what's wrong with it, yeah? This move, I just do not understand this. Like, how is red supposed to win this now? I'm at plus 11, no? And I'll be at plus 12 now. Maybe I'm not seeing something. I'm not gonna bother recounting. Now we just need to think which one's better. This one probably we don't want to do because we don't want to leave something that juicy for my opponent. So we're gonna go over here, and I think we're at plus 12. Oh, my opponent lost on time, so we're now at plus 10, but this doesn't really matter that much. We could actually go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still stuff that fits here. What about this? There's gonna be one thing that fits over here. What about this? there's gonna be there's gonna be 0 things that fit over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's something here. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to this, right? So just gonna be a plus 11. We might even this actually might be not the worst idea to meeple this. Yeah, I'm just do this. Well, isn't that lovely? Then we're going to finish. Yeah, this is like the reason why I allowed myself to spend a meeple, because there were still things that were left over here, and yeah, I think we'll end up winning it by I don't know how many points, but roughly plus 15 or something. So it was a difficult game for Reds, even though Red managed to complete this city over here. And then Red's path to victory was extremely narrow. Like they had to somehow find a way to get 2 meeples on the field, and then maybe 1 more over here. Yeah, something like this. So it was quite difficult. Anyway, very interesting game, at least to me, with these early fields and this tension over here and this not. Alrighty, and that was only game 1. Oh, Anton, about strategic Carcassonne. Yeah, I'm gonna answer your question just in a second, as soon as we start the second game. So it's gonna be 1-0 for me. Oh yeah, the reason why it says it's a tournament is just because Board Game Arena does not allow time controls in simple games where you have a fixed amount of time for the whole game. Instead, you have 30 seconds per move or 45 seconds per move, which is still not ideal, because we really want to make the time management similar to chess and similar to the way it's played in Carcassonne and the World Championship with a regular chess clock. And so to get around the Board Game Arena system, we have to create a mini tournament for 2 people. Because then the system allows you to have more variety in these time controls. Yeah, Anton, I do like expansions in occasion. My favorite ones, but I mean, I play with expansions like exclusively for fun with multiple people on occasion, so not really a competitive hardcore Carcassonne. Yeah, traders and builders is one. Another one that I like is the Phantom. Well, it's not really as the expansion. It's just a little meeple that allows you to score 2. That allows you to place 2 meeples per 1 move. So for a greedy Carcassonne player, greedy meaning somebody who likes to score quick points a lot, is definitely a psychologically satisfying move. But yeah, for serious Carcassonne in my videos, I just figured that the base game is really complex enough, and as soon as we add even one expansion, then there's just so much complexity and variance that it's becomes really hard to play. I mean, not hard to play, but just like hard to play really seriously at a competitive level. Strategic Carcassonne game, that's an interesting one. So I've played that. But it may be my board game conservatism. I prefer the regular version more, but I'm not sure if I prefer it more because I'm used to it and because I found out about it earlier than about the strategic version, or because I actually like it more. So it's not that obvious. Now, the game definitely becomes more complex, and it's just a different game, right? So it's still more it's still more skill based than luck, and I like that you can have these multiple move combinations. However, one thing why I still prefer the regular game a little bit more is because there are some elements of luck and there are some jokers. Like some tiles are just jokers. So let's say if you have a monastery with a road in your hand or a city splitter, especially monastery with a road, then you're guaranteed a field connection at the end of the game, like no matter what, and your opponent can just do nothing. So there's that aspect as well. Now I have a difficult tile to play. I might go over here. I might go also over here. But I mean, we definitely should somehow... Oh, we definitely should somehow do something about this city and this city. I'm gonna go over here. I don't know how good this move is, but the thing is, like, there's no way I'm passing on a monastery at the start of the game. Like it grows faster than you may seem. It looks like only 2 points, but here's my further reasoning: is that if I were to attack this city, then I get a tempo, or I could maybe somehow block this city together with my monastery, or another reason is that if my opponent scores 2 points, then also there's tempo. Then if I want to attack the city, for example, by placing a curve over here, then, well, I also add 1 point to my monastery. So even though it's only 2 points, as I build up my monastery, I can do 2 things at once. So add 1 point to the monastery and then achieve some other objectives. So now this is a fantastic tile because it creates a small piece of road over here, and of course we will want to do something about that small piece of road. Oh, and it's a hard tile to play, but I think we have to go over here, which will some of you it will seem it is crazy. I know it's just crazy. Yeah. But it's still the beginning of the game. I know it's super vulnerable, and there's still triangles. But I mean, there are still things that we can do. There are still things that we can do. Yeah, go for points. So this is like a high risk, high reward thing. And if we get blocked, it's still possible to play without 2 meeples. It looks very unsafe, but actually the safest place for monastery is the one that scores the most points, especially at the beginning of the game. Now also, so for example, we get to save this, and it's just a fantastic thing. So we get to flip for this monastery. And then, well, there's a couple things we can do. We can just put it over here, and then if my opponent tries blocking, that's not a big deal. We can put it over here like this, which I quite like, and then just start building a new city. It's a more conservative approach. This I don't quite like because I still want to save this tile, even though, like, this is the ideal move, but there are some scenarios how my opponent gets like a tube-shaped extender or something. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. The reason for that is that if my opponent tries to block, for example, with a straight line, he would have to add 2 points to my monastery, and then I'd still have 3 tiles left to complete this. Yeah, and if my opponent, let's say, gets one of these tiles, then he would have to still... Well, he would take 4 points, but he would add a couple points to my monastery as well. But of course, well, Red will now have his own thing, And now our situation with monasteries is completely sorted. So you see, it looks dangerous. It was like a 2-point move. It looked really bad, but now it's just in a fantastic position. And now we're going to, well, of course, red is going to put some pressure, and we might still end up being blocked with these monasteries. But hey, it's already looking not that bad at all. Now, probably what red will do, red will have to take this field. Because if red doesn't, then I do. I mean, I take the field in the next move no matter what. It's just a question of which field. That's a decent option, yeah. And it's a very tricky situation for me here, so we could go here, we could go here. I mean, we have to take a field, like what else do we do? We could start a new city over here, but I'm not a huge fan of this move. Actually, why am I not a fan of this move? Well, it does make sure that... Why am I not a fan of... Yeah, I am a fan of this move. Maybe it's not the best idea to do this. Okay, now I could do this, but I do... I mean, no, we have to take 9 points. Like, it's just not even a question. And you already can guess what my next move is going to be. So, red should probably take 3 points. Yeah, we won the coin flip, and this move I'm not really sure of. Maybe this wasn't the best one, because I'm dropping like city caps in my opponent's field. It's actually is a bit reckless. But the thing is, I'm also setting up a field connection for myself. Like if I get one of the city caps and then I drop a field meeple immediately, and now we're gonna do this. This is great. So we almost guarantee to like a 90 something 7% chance of getting this meeple out. Then we get a field connection with this, and then there's still 3 tiles that fits over here, and then there could be a road associated with this, and then we also break this stuff. Yeah, so it's just a fantastic situation for me, and now we even get the tile that fits here immediately, so a bit of luck helps me as well. Yeah, I agree that there's definitely more of combinations, Anton, in the strategic variant than these long move sequences. But the thing is, like in the regular Carcassonne game, there's, of course, there's luck, but there's not as much luck as it may seem, because you can, well, yeah. I mean, as you said, it's like you have to calculate probabilities, and you know. But there's ways of mitigating the effect the luck has. I guess the main personal issue that I have with the strategic version, it's kind of really my fault because I don't understand the game that well, so I'm not just that as good at it. And I make moves. I think I make decent moves, right? I have a reasonably good win rate in the strategic version. But when I do actually play, I never have the feeling that I understand what I'm doing, that I've really made the best move. Whereas in regular Carcassonne, I do feel that I understand what I'm doing. Yeah. So, here are the good things. We're at +2. Well, actually, and we have these monasteries over here. So, this is a fantastic tile. We could use it here to just release the tension from our opponent potentially connecting over here. We could use it over here and meeple a road and then just get more points. We could use it over here to add to this meeple. But I think this is just more urgent. Otherwise, our opponent will grow a gigantic ruin. And we don't want this to happen. And also, this move was worth 4 points for us. So it's the same value as this. The reason why this move wasn't obvious for me at first is that normally you want to use shielded tiles for your own completed cities. And you should be really, really greedy about deploying shielded tiles anywhere else. But here, the necessity was just dire. That's interesting. I mean, I can see that. So we have this move actually, but for a variety of reasons, I'm not a fan. I think I'm just gonna complete this, and well, I'll make myself vulnerable to an attack, but it's fine. Still, my opponent needs to spend tiles. What has to happen is that we have to get this straight line as soon as possible. Because we need meeples to engage in the field fight, and it looks like the field will be significant, and probably these 2 monasteries will not be sufficient. This is an extremely risky move, although probably necessary, but the thing is, at the moment, I have, you know what? 4 different tiles that win the game on the spot. If I manage to get a triple city, or the 1 remaining tube-shaped extender over here, then this little field meeple will be completely enclosed. Alright, so now I have this thing, and I can't really use it anywhere. I mean, I could grab a counter field, but I don't have meeples, and I don't want to stay without meeples for long. I think I have to do this to just lower the stakes, so that, you know, even though I'm creating a potential platform to connect, that's perfectly fine, because this city will be blocked. So now probably red will start to connect, as he should. Ah, that's interesting. And so then immediately red wants to connect to my road as well. I can see that. Just in time. Is red having any crazy ideas? Is red having any funny ideas? I don't know. At least they shouldn't. So we are at plus 2019. We are at plus 22, which is fantastic. What would be a good outcome for us? We could actually just connect to our opponent's field and be done with it. Not that it really matters that much. We could also go here and then try to do something interesting. And I feel like the best outcome for me is probably just point grabbing. If we just grab enough points, our opponent won't be able to do that much. So for example, we could actually, we could counter this. That would be so... Or we could connect to a field over here through one of these 4 guys. But I probably just want to do points grabbing. And with the goal of simply not requiring the field at all to win. Because the field is still just 12 points. Like, it's... we can afford to lose it. I'm really more concerned about the city, if anything. But probably with the current run out of tiles, we're... well, it will be still very hard for red to win the game. And now red is kind of choosing between this move and this move. I don't know whichever one is best, but I have a reaction for either one of those. If red goes here, yeah, then we have to go here to limit the options a little bit. And then just to keep point grabbing. Yeah, that's fine with me. Do we attempt this? Probably not, actually. Probably not. I think we might do something like this just to... we could do this. Oh, we could really do this, actually. Why not? It's only 75%. But there's value in doing this. Because then red will not want to put a meeple here. Okay, let me think again. We're plus 28. And then we don't let him expand. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this, and then I have this little piece to compensate. And oh, the reason why it's 75% is because there's, well, two of these guys that fit here. Oof, I'm lucky. I think red should have prevented me from completing this city or something. And now life will be very hard for red. And actually what red has to do is probably to block himself over here. Because here's the thing. Your first instinct... yes, Anton, it's definitely necessary to count which kind of tiles are left. Otherwise, it's impossible to count probabilities. But you get used to it way quicker than it seems. So, for example, here's, I think, an excellent example of why you would need to count tiles. So, we could do this, right? And then there are two tiles that fit here. But... if we go over here, because of 1, 2, 3, 4, there's only one. Actually, there's still two tiles left that fit here. Yeah. So it doesn't help us a lot. No, but still, there's only two tiles that fit here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's still one of those. No, we'll still have to do this, I'm afraid. Because there's still two of those left. What I don't like is that we're kind of flipping for the same tile. But that way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because then there would be a divider that fits here. And then there would be one of those that fits here. So that would be actually quite hard to... block. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, I guess we just have to go here. Well, what you know. And of course it's a bit problematic, but well, what you gonna do? You know what I might do? I just might go here. Yeah, it is a problem. No, it is a big problem actually that we did this. But I kid you not, we just might take this stuff and then that's it. We could go here. That would actually be a very good move. And there are two 9-point fields, so if my opponent takes one of them, we take the other one immediately. And what we're doing here, we're just reducing variance. Yeah, but I really could just take this field right now, right here. And then I have to rely on... Oh, 2 tiles, right? To get one of those out. I could also do this. And just threaten this guy a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, but we can't really afford that. Just gonna place it over here and leave it alone. We're plus 24, plus 23. We're at plus 11, given this situation. And we got the remaining road end for here. So we could either place this for 9 points over here. Actually, I quite like this. Yeah, we could place this for 9 points. Or we could just take 2 points for this. What do we need to be worried about? Well, we definitely don't want this city to be completed, right? Yeah, we do not. So I think I'm gonna just place this over here. And my opponent just has to go here, and then we're good, I guess. I mean, they could also take over the city or something. Because now I am... So, okay, so I gained 9 more moves and I had 12. So I think now we're at plus 23, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're exactly at plus 23 for a meeple. I think it's pretty much impossible to score. Yes, Oscar, glad to see you as well. Nice that you joined. But yeah, I just can't see red winning. Well, I can actually. Red would have to do something that's not this, I think. We could take... Well, now we could really take this 9-point field, and now I really mean it. It's 16... So I guess what Red's trying is just to take over the city complete and then to try to somehow... Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could also just grab 4-point roads, at least to try. There are not many city caps left. There are some crossroads left, which I'm counting on. I think the good move is this, just trying to limit point scoring opportunities for here. And we just need to have some kind of... We just need to stick in a piece of city or something. Yeah, so Red is really trying to just complete the city, although I don't think it will be possible at all. Now, here's another important aspect of counting which tiles there are. So if you want to block a city like this, then of course the first thing that you might try is this, right? But there's still one of those left. However, if I turn it that way, there's 0 of those left because 1, 2, 3, nada. And then what? 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so nothing fits here. I mean, there's still 4 of those that fit here. But still, it's still a question because my opponent will need to go here and then will bother the completion of the city again. Oh no! Oh, I see. Now it's actually quite troubling. So what can we do with this? Oh, it's really not obvious. Well, we can go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just accept this. But then our opponent will have so many opportunities. What if we go here? But wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're at +9, yeah? I think. Yeah, because we're at +23, now we're at +9. If we make a move like this, I think there are no city caps remaining. I'm pretty sure there are no city caps remaining, yeah. So we don't even have to fight for the city necessarily. It's just, I'm just looking for triangles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, no extenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's actually nothing that fits here. So we don't even need to fight for the city. We just kind of leave it alone. So we're at +9 for our opponent to win. Well, many things have to happen. I'm in time trouble, though. I don't know how this happened. Actually, we should be more precise on what things are left. By the way, there are a couple of tiles that win the game for me instantaneously, and which I think Elias should block. So I have one of those, and I just which gives me +15. If I just place it over here, so Elias could block it. What else? I have one of those, which just connects to my field and gives me +10. So there's that. Elias could place it over here, but then we'll be able to block that, even though it's... Okay, that's fine. And now I think it's time to do this. I mean, I hope I didn't like embarrass myself, but I'm pretty sure nothing fits here. Well, except for something like this, right? But no city caps or anything. It's just gonna take... So my opponent is... Okay, so we're gonna be at plus... So now we're at +8. Now we're gonna be +17. Can our opponent get... Nah. There's no way one can get... 17. And we didn't even need like any of these tiles to get lucky, but we did. So for example, if we were to get this tile, that would be +6 immediately. So if Elias takes these 4 points, they won't even be good for him. What else? Yeah. What else? What else? What else? Well, let's try. Sometimes, like, it could be a good practice to try and think for your opponent. This is not a bad move at all. So let's say if he were to get lucky, he could have scored 4 points and then tried to squeeze out 13. Yeah, I think actually he still had a path to victory if he were to score those 4 points. Then if he were to draw some crossroads to score 4 more points and then a field connection to tie, maybe something like this, but now it doesn't even matter because we got plus 10, so we are at plus 27. And then there's really no coming back from plus 27. Also because red is not getting the best tiles here. Absolutely no way to successfully place this monastery anywhere. Well, yeah, so I'm at plus 23, and now we're just going to eliminate all field connection opportunities with this move. So there's that. Now we're going to be at... Oh, I forgot myself. There's still this 15-point field to fight for. And that was silly of me, but it's fine. So let's say I'm still at plus 23, I think. Now plus 24. And of course, red has to take over this field at some point. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's still one of those. I mean, we might just go for the. Shall we go for the spectators and try to take over this field ourselves? No, yeah? Well, what could we do about this? Let's try to be precise. I really want to check what are the tiles remaining. Well, one of them is a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's one of them is a curve. I don't think there are any city caps at all. Yeah, there are no city caps. No triple cities. 3, 4, 5, none of those guys. Monastery. Curve and monastery. Interesting, there's still one of those left. So what I'm gonna do... I don't think I have many options. Okay, so here we can get 5 points, and then we're gonna end up 6. Now we're gonna hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if he connects. So actually, that's the move that gives me the most points. Interestingly, because this gives me 7 points rather than 6. Well, because he can place a straight line over here, and then will be forced to complete my road. So yeah, gotta practice that precision. Alright, so for those of you just joining, it's 2-0 in my favor, and we're about to go to the third game in this match of streamers against Elias Mochan. Plus 15 in the end. Okay, I'm fine with that. if you look at this situation, I think, of course, I got some lucky tiles, but I think the most important thing that won me the game is these two monasteries, which looked at the start extremely precarious, extremely dubious, but they were favorable scenarios there, and it was a really high risk, high reward situation. And as a result, we managed to more than compensate for Red's city over here. And then I think an important thing that we did is that we didn't fight for the field too zealously. We actually accepted a loss of that field, but we ended up getting a bit lucky. And then at the start, we're getting a monastery. It's always a fantastic tile to start with. It's not an obvious question of what Red should do here. Capturing 3 points, 3 points here is not the worst move. Although, actually, with this move, Red could get self into trouble a little bit, because with this configuration, if Red were to take this road, he could be setting up himself for a Zugzwang or for discarding a useful tile. For example, if somebody were to finish this road, then any crossroads or any city with a road would be subject to a so-called, using chess terminology, Zugzwang or Zugzwang, which is German for forced move. It's when you're forced to do something that favors your opponent, when simply what you're doing is the only legal move in the position. Red doesn't know which tile I have. Whew, yeah. If Red were to make that other move, then of course I would have been much happier. And now we have to drop a field meeple in this situation. It's not even a question. The field is just so huge. It's a pity that this spot is vulnerable, and both monasteries with the road are out. But such is life. It's a very long match, given the time format. And I'm already running out of beverages. Cold cup of coffee done. Hot water done. And then I'm just sipping the remainder of my cold cup of tea. And of course, I don't want to go for a refill, so that I don't lose any of my valuable time. That's an interesting move. It's a very interesting move. Reds can get himself into trouble, but Red can also get a lot out of this if he manages to... So the main thing is that Red just wants to deal with this square first, and deal with other squares later. And we just have to go here. There are many, well, ways how to make this stuff vulnerable, right? I think Red should go here, but I hope he doesn't know that. Whew. Ooh. Yeah, I'm lucky. So we have to go here. Just not let anything happen that we don't want to happen. This field is already being just absolutely fantastic. Red's plan worked here over here very well. Of course, we have to neutralize this city. Then ideally we want to block this stuff and then start to build our ruin. But of course, that's just wishful thinking. And now there's this move that we can do. What else? There's this move. It actually gives us the same number of points. But not sure if I want to do this. I think I'm just going to take 2 points that way. Although I'm not sure if that was the best move. Even though I'm slightly constricting my field, it's absolutely okay. Because my field is already big enough. And I just want to keep it as a 1 meeple field. Because this city will eventually be completed, and it's going to be, and my field is going to be 9 points, which already justifies the investment of a meeple, and then I'm gonna be happy. Because the thing is a bit counterintuitive, but you actually don't want your fields to grow too much at the start of the game, because they become more vulnerable to attack. Whereas if you have a field for 9 points, okay, so then it already justifies the investment of a meeple. Okay, so now this is the move. The question is, do I meeple this? Because we don't want to give my opponent all this 6-point road. On the other hand, we don't want to lose a low-scoring meeple. No, I think I'm not gonna do this. It might be tempting for red to go over here, but I'm not sure how good a move that is. So if red goes here, then that's fantastic. If red goes here, then we can block this meeple, which is absolutely in our interests. But I can't say that I'm in love with this position, really. Still, many tough decisions will need to be made. One of these decisions is how we deal with this. Well, we want to grab this field soon. But there will be other ways of doing this. Actually, we might grab this field. But I think I'm going to grab this piece of city first. Because there's no way how... Yeah, perfect. And now we're going to just preserve our 1 field here. And then live happily ever after. Of course, we have to go here, and this will be an extremely vulnerable spot, but in the worst case scenario, we have a 75% chance, so we have to place it over here. Well, not the worst, is it? Oh, it's also not obvious how we should act here. I probably don't necessarily need to finish this city, but it would be nice. Oh, given that I'm 8 points behind, yeah, that's something not to be neglected. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, that's a good move, unfortunately. Now, this is a fantastic top that I got. It's just absolutely fantastic. But do we place it over here? Do we place it over here? Do we place it actually like this? I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point roads. Some pressure over here. Well, it's not that much of a pressure, right? I think I'm gonna do this. No, it's not obvious. Do I put it here or do I just wait? Because I think this is just more important, I guess. Because then we get to save this meeple, sort of. So yeah, I think I should do this first. Just to prevent that attack that was about to happen. But the situation here is dire. We really need to somehow find a way that either blocks these fields, let's say if we get something like this over here, or unifies these fields. Luckily our opponent has got a useless tile and it's going to treat it as such. We could go here, we could go here. I think this is the best move given there's opportunity for expansion, and this already is 9 points, so probably shouldn't hope too much to complete this. This gives us chance to complete, but then it gives our opponent a chance to connect. No, I like this more. And just as I said it, I got the triple city. And again, not obvious how to treat this one. I could do this. It's a bit hard here. I could do this to prevent some field connections and put pressure here. I could do this. I think I like this the best, but then it just delays the inevitable, does it? But I'm still gonna do it. I'm not sure if I should meeple this though, but probably not. I'd love this tile over here. I'd love that. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna have like 9 points or something at least. Yeah, we could go here. We could go here. We could go here to just start blocking, but I think we need to start building something. And just hope that our thing comes soon. So we will be losing some value in some scenarios, but I guess it's just something we'll have to live with. We could do this. But I think we really need to do this first. Because if we get some sort of triangle, or even this thing, we'll complete our stuff really quickly, and so our opponent will now have a choice. Well, does he complete this city? Does he, like, what does he do? Does he join us here? And then ideally we should... Actually, we could do something like this, perhaps, and have a bit of an advantage here. I don't wanna take this city because my opponent will attack immediately and he will just win my my thing. Yeah, I think this one's the best, but then if he connects here, it's also kind of not the best move for me. Maybe this one is the way to go. My opponent can connect, but then, well, it will be harder to maintain. I think I like this one. Yeah, it's gonna be hard now. Well, not much we can do about it. We can go here to limit this field. We can go here to limit this guy, and I think we have to go here just to help the situation a little bit. Nothing much we can do with this. So if it's blocked, it's blocked. Unfortunately, ay, 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 ay. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, another non-obvious solution. We could go here. Like, we don't want for anything to happen here. We could also go here just to start building something on our land. But we're really waiting for one of the 5 things to go here. Yeah, I guess we have to do something like this. You sure? Well, I have a chance of just making sure this meeple gets stuck, but I'm not too hopeful about it. I think we have to do this. We could do this, but then we can get risk over this being tied to this, so I think we just need to make sure that our opponent has fewer options here. Uh-huh. So that's one of the ways to ensure this stuff. There's still plenty of these things, so we have to go here. 1, 2. Yeah, we just have to. And then we'll have some instruments here. Now we could do this, we could do this. I mean, this is ideal, of course, because we could also do this and try to expand. I think this is just necessary, because then we're just threatening so much over here. I like this, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I like this really the best. Oh no. Well, it's a no-brainer for my... Oh! Maybe my opponent does not want me to take over the city, and I understand him. Man, it's gonna be so hard. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have plus 10 over here. We're at minus 12. These are equal. Have a 9-point field, has a 12-point, so we minus 15. Yeah, we just... Not much we can do there. And now comes a problem. Because we can't really take over this. I mean, we could, but we will be without meeples for such a long time. I guess we just have to somehow go here and hope that everything's okay. That's really it. We're also getting a bit of luck in the sense that my opponent's still not able to complete his church. Okay, so how many tiles does he have like this? Oh, that's good, because there are some permanent blocks that we can try out, so that's something to think about. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that way we're taking away more tiles, so we have to do this. Oh, come on, now he's gonna go here. It's just could be an endless... Well, luckily we have this, and it's a must. Anytime we can gain 7 points, it's... Oh, come on. That was a very important point for us to win. Now, because it's going to give him a meeple and add 6 points, he has to go here. I just hope that he does this. Because if he does this, that's a mistake. Unfortunately, he does not commit a mistake. But what do we do with that? Well, I guess we have to... I really don't know. I think we have to do something like this. Maybe to try and like get that meeple away. Because if you think about it, okay, so we're at -8, right? It's maybe not such a big deal. But we are at -6 on the fields. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. -8, -14. -10. And we have 10 points. We have a meeple for 10 points. That way, maybe we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there are still connections. That way, maybe we get like... I think our hope has to do something with making certain gains here. But I'm not entirely sure about like how this would work. Yeah, now I maybe start regretting that move a little bit, but well, what you gonna do? Maybe we can win this city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Win some coin flips. I guess we'll have to try and win this city. Maybe that's gonna just work. Again, so 10 points and a meeple. 1, 2, 3. The reason why I think that they could work is because there's still plenty of these guys left. There's still 2 of those, which is more than enough for a dire situation like this. And I've already thought of a response. If my opponent's going here, we go here. If my opponent's going here, we go here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it doesn't even matter. We might go here anyway. Because there's not too many ways how you can try and block us. Oh yeah, this thing, by the way, this guy is completely blocked, just so you know. There's nothing left that fits here anymore. Oh, I haven't checked the chat in a while. And there's nothing happening there, so... That's such a good move, man. I mean, I could do this, but then he'll just continue his stuff, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't give him 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I make a move like this and I'm just counting on... Then I'm just counting on... Okay, actually, how many of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still one piece of crossroads, and if I get a piece of crossroads before I get the connection, then it's just like then it's quite hard for me. There's still those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not quite obvious. And then if I put it over here and he just doesn't connect. Okay, I think I have to do this. Yeah, I just have to. Because then like, he will need to attack, right? Oh, interestingly. But that's fine, at least because he didn't now. Um, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still something left there, so I can still score some points for my field, maybe. Not that way, that way. 1, 2. Yeah, so there is still something left here. That if he blocks me, then at least, well, I just finish this stuff up and don't let him take those points. So something like this. Oof. Somehow we managed. Because now we're going to be scoring for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 15 points. Plus 15. And, okay, so the situation was that we were at minus 10, I think. And then, or minus 11. And then now we're going to be at plus 4, but for a meeple. But this means at least I have a chance. At least I now have a chance. And it's just a chance. It's not much. I haven't won. Oh, we still have 8 minutes. Okay, so now we have to do really precise calculations. So okay, so we're at minus 1. Yeah, of course my opponent is going to do something like this. I understand. I understand where this is coming from. Moreover, there are 2 tiles that fit my opponent, which is unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because there's one of those regular curves, right? And then one of those remaining. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, but let's first of all recount the points. So, we're at minus 1. Then minus 21, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're minus 7 plus 1 over here. And then 7 versus 10. Yeah, as I said, plus 4. At the moment, I'm just plus 1 and a meeple, but my opponent is really threatening to connect. So now we should need to be extra clear about what tiles are remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fascinating. Because yeah, it's really not an obvious situation here. Well, there will be this connection. That we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 2 straight roads remaining. 1 straight road. No, I'm hallucinating. 1 straight road remaining. 0 crossroads. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0 triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is there still 1 triangle? No, I don't think so. So there's one straight road, one curve, and one of those guys. But then there's also something else. Something that I'm missing. Maybe it's one of those pesky city caps? Okay, what about these guys? 1, 2. Where's the third one? Is that the one? Is that the one? Ah. Huh. Okay, so what could happen? With a straight road. Actually, that's a great idea, because then if my opponent goes here, yeah, this could work out well, because there's still these guys. If we get a straight road, then we get to have like some kind of outside connection to compensate. I think we have to do this. At the moment, we're at +4. I'm not like completely positive about this move. But the thing with this move, like with the reason why I did it, is that if my opponent were to connect immediately, then I would get the full force of the meeples back. And now we will need to count whether we need to go for a 50-50 or not. So at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, I'm +4. Yeah. And there will be one curve and one city splitter like this. And so So we know that we have now at least a 50%er for a win. Because we can just take these 7 points and hope that my opponent doesn't get this connection. And then we'll have, well, not +11, but something akin to +11. My opponent, of course, should go here, I think. Another thing, if we go over here, yeah, that's such a problem. I think it will still come down to a coin flip. Like, I cannot envision a way. So let's say if my opponent were to put this over here, then we'll place the tile over here, and let's say if we're defend, then we'll place a field meeple here. Then if my opponent gets a curve, then he can tie. Just by putting this curve anywhere. But if he gets but if he gets these 6 points, wait, can I guarantee myself a win? That's unbelievable. Can I guarantee myself a win? Okay, check this out. Now we're completely even. If we do this, we're flipping for a win. If we do this, then my opponent can add 1 more point to him, but I will be able to add at least 2, if not 3 points to myself. I think, just because now we don't need to worry about our opponent taking the 6-point city, the move is this, and we guarantee the win by at least 1 point. So now I'm going to be -1 over here. Again, this is if I calculate this correctly. Maybe I should have recounted, yeah? Maybe I should have went for the 50-50, should have gone for the 50-50, but I think it really works. Actually, that's quite reckless. I had 3 minutes to recount, right? And then we'll be able to just add 3 points to our field here. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. So this is 2 points, which I think is +1. But this is 3 points, which I think is +2. So we're just taking over this guy. I think that's a victory. And I think that was 100%. Yeah, +2 already. Told you. Wow, that was a hard ending, and that could make it into an endgame puzzle video. Yeah, that was way more intense. Very interesting game. Yeah, thanks Elias for the tough fight, and thanks everybody for watching. So this just shows you, I think this game is enough to justify the longer time control, because you see I had 3 minutes left. Had I the usual 15 minutes or 10 minutes, I don't think it would have been possible. So we had to calculate all the tiles precisely. We had to think of every scenario, and then at the end we found a move not tempted by the 7 points over here, but we had to find a move that guarantees a win for us completely. And so was this move was also very important, so that we get full potential from our meeples, because if our opponent were to connect here, then we could have reconnected ourselves with a straight line, like through the outside. So that was the plan. Yeah, very interesting. And so the result of the match is 3-0, and it has been 2 hours. Oh, by the way, I'm streaming tomorrow as well. I forgot whether it's 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., but I'm gonna post an update very soon. There's the finals of the Belgian National Championship, and I'm gonna be commenting on the live action. Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And I'm going to see you soon. Thank you, Raf.